Hi everyone, welcome back. This is my final project for Kitaholic Kits for the month of November. And I'm doing something a little bit different. I am going to make some cards. I have been watching a lot of card makers on YouTube lately, and I just thought, hey, I want to give that a shot. And so I am. And I got these card bases from the Kitaholic Kits shop, and I thought, now's the time to do it because I've got these, I think they're A2 card bases, and I'm just going to make 5 cards all up using the absolutely stunning kit that we got this month. Like, honestly, I cannot love this kit more. I just loved creating with it, and I'm kind of sad that it's done now. I pretty much crushed it entirely. Now, I'm starting off, my first card, I'm going to do a little shaker pocket. The reason I'm doing this is because, like I said, I'm new to the world of card making, and so I'm a bit anxious about making cards, and so I thought I would just go with a method that I know, and that is to cut out the center and to do a little shaker pocket. And so I am doing exactly that. I chose that beautiful pink florally paper, or pink and blue florally paper, and I backed it with I cut it out using my cutting machine, like just a little scalloped oval. Then I am going to back that with some vellum, or I did back that with some vellum, and I'm going to then add some puffy strips. Now with those puffy strips, it's the way to maneuver them easily is to, not puffy strips, dimensional foam strips. The way to maneuver them easily is by taking the backing off both sides, and then they can twist around the outside of that little cut out element. I wanted to do some inking on the background here just to add a little bit of interest and dimension. Well, not really dimension, just a bit of interest. But the problem is, like, I wouldn't recommend doing this right onto your card base because I think it was just a mistake. Like, I should have done it on a different piece of white cardstock and then stuck it all together at once, because as you can see, it gets a little bit muddy towards the bottom, which is fine because I ultimately cover that up. But I think it would have just been more prudent to do this whole element without doing it on the card base and then just placing the whole thing on the card base at the end. And that is what I actually end up doing for the rest of the video. I won't be working on the card base directly. So I added the little sequins in that little shaker pocket, and I had to take some out because it was just too bulky, way too bulky. And then once I'm happy with that, I back that onto the backing cardstock, the what do you call it? I just said it. No, you know what I mean. And I'm adding my little puffy title and a little word phrase strip, and I'm going to secure that with extra glue because that is largely sticking on the acetate, and I'm a bit nervous about that falling off. I mean, it's just a card. It doesn't really matter if it lasts a lifetime, but yeah, I just thought better to do that. Now moving on to my second card, and I wanted to use this little strip that I had cut off using when I had a project last week, I think it was. I just cut these little strips off. Oh no, it was for an exclusive. But I have these like beautiful florally strips, and I thought it'd be nice to back that on some black. Now, I don't often use black in my scrapping, but I recently acquired some black cardstock, so I thought I would make use of it. I like how this turned out. I think it's very striking, but in terms of my style, it's not really my aesthetic. This is sort of a card design that I have seen previously. Or I've seen it a lot of places around where you have like the banner and like a little cluster element. And so I like it, but I think I would prefer if I just do my kind of style of crafting going forward. But I do like it, it's nice. I'm going to also back my main little panel there on the black cardstock to really make that pop. And yeah, like I said, it's beautiful. And I think if I do it, I have to do it in a way that suits my style, but that is basically how I'm going to layer it. I've got a little vellum circle there, and I'm cutting out this smaller, so the vellum circle is 3 inches, the smaller circle is 2.5 inches, and I'm just sticking that on top just to create some extra dimension and texture. And then I'm going to build my cluster together using this little sticker from the puffy sticker sheet that we got in the kit. So I'm sticking that all down. I like how that looks. That puffy sticker, the sentiment on the puffy sticker is it works. It's very much going to be kind of, I feel like, more romantic, So this might have to be like a Valentine's Day card for Justin one day. That's the thing with card making. Tell me if you think this. I love the idea of it, but I don't go to enough events to really justify doing this a lot. So I don't know. Like, I think it's beautiful, but it seems like a little bit of a waste to me. Anyway, what's your take on this? What do you do with your cards that you've done and that you've created if you are into card making? Moving on to my card number 3 here. And I'm using this navy cardstock that I just have floating in my stash as a backing paper. And this one is actually probably my least favorite. It's too much navy. It's too heavy. What you'll see down the track, I create a little navy banner as well. And I think I should have made that banner smaller or toned it down with some vellum or whatever. I don't know, but I just didn't love how this one looks. It's still a nice card. I just would prefer not to have this particular one in. No, that's not fair to say. I just don't. It's just not my favorite. Let's not talk bad about our scrappy projects because we took time to create them and it will hurt their feelings. So this is where I'm going to create that little banner. I originally had that darker pink part of that foil leaf paper, but I thought it would look better in terms of contrast if I took the lighter portion of that paper. So that's what I did there. I like this foiled paper as a backdrop. I did this before as well, and I think it looks really super beautiful. I'm going to use that circle, but I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to punch it. So that circle is currently a 3-inch circle, but I'm going to do it 2.5 inch, and then I'm going to back it on some starry vellum that was just sitting on my desk, and I thought, hey, why not create a little bit of shininess as well, as if the shininess in the background isn't enough. So now I'm just sticking it all together. I'm going to create a flower cluster behind this little circle on the top and the bottom, and I think this is kind of where it lost me a little bit, because that cluster just gets lost to me and you can't really see it. I think I should have either used something darker or just have left it and maybe just added some sprinkles or whatever to this card, and then I think I would have liked it more. But I am popping those little sprigs up on some foam dots to add some dimension. And I'm also going to take another puffy sticker from the sticker sheet. This one makes no sense in a card. I'm outlining that with a little doodly border using my Jelly Roll pen. I lost my big Jelly Roll pen, so you can hardly see it, but anyway. This sentiment that I'm using, it doesn't really make sense. What does it say? Love without limits. It's not a sentiment for like someone like happy birthday or thinking of you or love you or anything like that. It's a very generic card, which I mean, I guess you can use it in many, many, many different ways then. So I think that's probably a good thing. Bending up the edges of that circle, and then I'm going to stick this whole panel down onto my card backing. I am going to have to cut it down a little bit because I cut it slightly too big, and I don't know how I did that, but I did. Once that's done, that card is done, and now moving on to my favorite card. This one is my style. This one is definitely the kind of vibe that I like. It's simple but striking, and so this is my favorite one that I did. I was inspired by those 2 little corner pieces that we got in the die cut sheets this month, and I am putting them on each corner like you can see there, and then I'm doing some ink blending using the yellow and pink distress oxides. That's tattered rose and mustard seed, I believe, and I'm just going to do some ink blending there just to create a bit of interest in the background there. I'm also going to add some pink splatters. I believe that's from Dina Wakley. It's like a shimmer spray. So I'm going to add that. You can't really see it, but it does make a bit of a difference in the overall card at the end of the day. I'm going to prop those 2 corner pieces up on foam dots. I'm going to put the smaller one down the bottom, and then I'm going to put the larger one at the top. And I just think it looks so pretty. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. So finally, I'm actually going into this giant 12x12 sentiment sheet, and this is like designed for card makers because it's got lots of like happy birthdays, thinking of you, thank you kind of sentiments. And so I'm choosing a yellow one because I'm really trying to stick to the yellow and the pinks here, because that pinks and yellows just mix well together. It's just like beautiful sunset colors, and I like it. I think it says thank you very much. Is that what it says? Yes, it says thank you very much. I had to like lean really in close there on my screen. So that's the sentiment that I chose just because it was basically the right size for what I needed it to be. So in the middle there, I'm obviously propping it up on foam dots, so it's the same height as the two floral pieces. And then at the end, I'm just adding some glue and sticking that down there as well. I'm going to pull a tiny word sentiment from my stash of very old cocoa vanilla items, and I believe that one is from a Kitaholic Kit that we got like maybe years ago even. But yeah, anyway, so I actually missed that up, but you can see it there down the bottom there. I'm going to adhere that, and then this card, I'm going to put it aside for now. Towards the end, I do go back and add like final touches to all of the cards, but for now, I'm just putting them all aside, and I thought I would do that all at once. So this is my last card, and it's a fairly simple one, and I really love how this one turned out as well. I'm using this neutral blue wood grain paper, and I'm keeping it pretty simple. I'm going to back that with some of that foil paper, the stripy foil paper that you can see pointed there in kind of the back corner, the side corner, sorry. And so I'm cutting that one a little bit smaller, and then I'm going to cut that foil paper to be the size of the A2 card base. And I wish I didn't have enough to make them go horizontal. I only had enough to make them go vertical, which is a pity because I think you would have seen more of the colors if it was vertical, but doesn't matter, moving on. So I'm sticking that to the backing there, and then I'm going to take this floral cluster that's sitting right there. Oh, I might take another one actually. I'm taking that one. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did in the layout last week, where I sort of tuck my little sentiment underneath there, and I'm popping that up on some foam tape as well. I love adding dimensions to cards because it's not going to bulk up an album or anything, so it's great. So I'm using that happy puffy sticker sheet, and I'm sort of creating my own little phrase, and I can't remember what it says, and it barely makes sense, but like I said, it's a card. It doesn't matter. It's mostly what I think is important in a card is what you write on the inside, so I'll find something nice to write on the inside. And once I am done with that, this card is going to be done for now, but I'm going to pull all of my cards back, and I'm going to take the stickles that we got in this month's kit that I raved about so much during this month. And I'm going to just add some glittery dimensional elements to every single card. When that is done, and this is sped up super fast, I'm going to call this project done. Thank you so much for joining me in venturing into the world of card making. Let me know if this is something that you like to see, or if you're not interested in card making. Do you make cards? Let me know in the comments below. I think that the stickles really adds a bit of glam to this entire project, to all these cards, and I'm really, really happy that we got it in this kit this month. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say goodbye. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you all next month in December. Bye.